Welcome back, party people. Today we are installing the Radium high flow fuel filter. Let's get it. So I've been waiting for this one for a little bit. This is the Radium high flow fuel filter. Try saying that 3 times fast. You can't. But without further ado, we're gonna get started. So I've already got the car up on the ramps. I got one side slightly jacked up a little bit higher to give me a little bit more clearance under the car. So what we're gonna start off by doing is we're gonna be pulling the fuel pump fuse. So under the hood, let me just put this back on and demonstrate. So your fuse panel is going to be right here. All right, this box. There's a lever back here where you pull and lift, and it releases the entire cover. So I'll tell you right now, on the Radium instruction breakdown, it does not show the correct fuse layout. I believe that one is for the ST, but since I don't have an ST, I can't be sure. So I'm going to show you where the fuel pump relay is on the RS. So right here. All right, guys. So I just want to make a correction because, yeah, I'm a dum-dum. So the fuel pump relay or supply is what it's actually called. The fuse is actually in the it's in the car passenger side. So you got these two little this is underneath the glove box. So you got these two little clips that you can pull off by hand, and then this little cover flops down. Okay, you can move it out the way, and then your top right side 20 amp fuse is what you're going to pull out. Okay, so let me get doing that, and then we'll run the car. I'll get back to you in a moment. Okay, so the fuse is out. We're gonna go start the car. So it should stall within a few seconds. There we go. All right, so there you go. Stalled out. That was much better. Last time it just kept running. So, yeah. So there's another step that I like to do. You don't really have to do it nowadays with newer cars, but I still like to take every additional precaution, especially when dealing with fuel and your eyes and stuff. So I like to open up the gas cap to release any vacuum pressure that is built up. Because even though we just relieved the pressure of the fuel, the pressure of vacuum has still built up in there. So I just like to open up and just let some air in there, and then we'll be good to go. So, all right. So I'm gonna go. We're gonna start assembling the fuel filter. All right. So here is your can. So this can, you can't open it up on this side. to remove the to replace the filter down the line. This is a 6 micron filter, I believe, is the one that I got. I can't remember, but we've got some 2 AN fitting adapters that will screw into both sides of this. Just gonna snug it down at first. So make sure you're doing this by hand initially so that you know you get the threads right. So like now this one is being a pain in the ass. There you go. All right, so now those are on. Okay. All right, just turn it till it stops, so that gasket sinks in. Okay. So there you go. So and it even tells you on the bottom. So the green side is the outlet side, and then the black side is the inlet side. So there's no confusion. Plus, once you connect these into the car, you should not be able to connect it backwards. If you know, if I'm thinking ahead correctly, because usually the manufacturers will do that to keep you from accidentally putting it in backwards and damaging your fuel pump. So I'm gonna finish assembling the rest of this bracketing to get it ready to go into the car. All right, so now the next thing we got to do after I read the directions is we've got 5 M5 bolts and 3 locking nuts. So we got to take this bracket piece and assemble it here. So you got these 2 here, and then this one on the bottom is where the bolts are going to line up. All right, guys, so we're finally under the car. The bracketing for the fuel filter is all set up. So I'm not going to be doing a lot of this on camera because I'm in tight quarters. So I'm just going to show you what has to come off. So this clip is going to release. All right, we're going to release this clip. We're going to release this white clip. All right, which is what will allow these lines to pop off. So the green line will stay in place. And then there's going to be another clip over here on this end. So this clip has to come off. Okay, and then the clip back here has to come off. So this white clip is going to loop around and connect. All right, so that will, so this is going to be your outlet side, I believe, or is it inlet? I have to look in the instructions and let you know again. The white, hold on, give me 1 second. I'm looking. Don't leave. You in there. So I need you to do something for me. First, get out of full screen. All right. You see down there the subscribe. I want you to click that. All right. Good. And then right next to it, there's a bell. You see the options. You press the bell. Press the bell. Okay. Pick all. You got it. Good. All right. Let's go full screen again. Yeah, so this hose that loops around, this is going to connect to your outlet, and then this is going to be your inlet that runs around and then connects here as well. Okay, so it's pretty simple. The only difference is that the bracket that we have is going to mount up here. Okay, so you see those 2 screws? We're gonna have to take those 2 nuts off. They look like 10 millimeters. I will double check that, but once we get them off, that's where we're going to be mounting the high flow fuel filter bracket, is right in front of the is right there in front of the belt for the gas tank. So I'll start popping this stuff off and bring you back. All right, ladies and gentlemen folk, so the old fuel filter is out, so the new one is set up, ready to go in. So what we're gonna do is this side, you see this little plastic piece, this is gonna plug in to this hole right here to keep it up and out the way. So what we're gonna do is this is gonna click on, pops right on, and then this plastic retainer is gonna push right into there. So then this, when we bolt it up, we'll loop around the front and click into the return line, because this, or to the feed line, is the outlet side. So all we gotta do is, so these things, they break so easily, it's aggravating. So I'm just gonna slide these in. Just gotta find the right orientation. So that goes in first, and then the bottom one will go in the opposite way. So it's kind of annoying because, like I said, you gotta find the right orientation because they don't exactly sit the way you would think. So I'm going to get this taken care of off camera, and then I'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back. So my battery's running low, so I'm going to try and make this quick as possible before switching out. So we've got our Radium fuel filter in, high flow fuel filter. So in the future, you probably want to get more of these little clips because these are super brittle, especially the one for your feed line. Super brittle. As I was able to get the top clip, retaining clip out, but then that little horseshoe one on the top, as soon as I tried to flex it, it snapped. You'll remember me saying that if you saw the video for the boost reference adapter, which I will link down below in the description. But basically, what I did to make sure that the lines were connected, you can do one of two things. What is take a picture of the line setup prior to taking it off, or you can go by the instructions because they do have a picture on there of how the system looks prior to you making this upgrade. So we have our feed line here, which I believe the green is the return side. Then we have the exit side back here, on which is the white clip connected to the green side, which then loops around and then feeds back to the front of the car. So probably the hardest part is, not sure, so that bolt right there to the left, that small 10 millimeter, that one's easy to get to, but then the harder one is going to be the second one because of the way that little plastic grommet piece reattaches to keep the line. So you're going to want to be careful not to just mess up your line. It's going to be a kind of a tight fit to get your 10 millimeter with an extension up in there. So I would suggest start it by hand and then follow it up with a ratchet or like a drill, like a impact. But we're good, we're set up, we're good to go. So now all we gotta do now is go back in the car, put the 20 amp fuse back in, and then start her up. All right, so here we go. The scariest part about doing a fuel system is making sure that there's no leaks and everything primes right. So here we go. It's going to be car on, engine off. All right, so fuel pump kicked on, pumped. Just make sure there's no leaks prior to starting it up. So we look dry. I don't see any leakage. So now, next step is going to be starting it up, engine on, then double check, and let it idle down. right, here we go. Start it up, no problem. Looks like we have successionado. So, like I said, anytime you work on your fuel system, in my opinion, that's probably the scariest thing to work on, because the last thing you want is for fuel and everything to start spraying everywhere. So, I'm going to button up everything, put the, I'm going to put the passenger side fuse panel cover back up. And if you guys have any comments, questions, I will be posting the directions PDF download for you in the description. And as always, Wrench Daily.